Hi guys, I'm John Garage, and today I'm going to be going over a couple of different flashlights that I was actually sent to review for free. So full disclosure, I didn't pay for these or anything. But so today we're going to look at the Lumens X4 and the Smingxi T5, which I really like that name. It's a good one. But so kind of how I'm going to go into this is I'm going to give you an overview of this one and what I like and might dislike about it. Then same thing with this one, and then after that I'll kind of compare them and then give you my final verdict on whether I would pay the full amount for these instead of being sent them for free. But so let's just dive right into it. The Lumens X4 comes in at $50 and it's 1500 lumens. It has a 205 meter throw, and it has a replaceable 3400 milliamp battery, which locks in here and then bam, pops out nice and easy, and you can just get a replacement for that, no problem. But so what's really cool about this thing, and it's probably the biggest flashlight I have, but it also packs the most functionality. So it has these 4 different switches on it down here, which goes from, first is a locked mode, then it goes to the front beam, the side beam, then the front beam, and then a moonlight mode. So I really like the moonlight mode because you can just, have it by your bedside table and ensure you won't have to cycle through a bunch of different functions, which a lot of other flashlights have, where, okay, you need to double press it or long hold it to be able to switch through the different brightness levels. But with this, you can just easily switch between them. So looking at the front facing one, the one that points directly out, there's a little dial here, which allows you to ramp up the intensity or lower it, which is really nice. So you don't have to fiddle around with pressing things at all doing that. If you want to get it to full brightness, I believe you just hold it. No, you double press it. Whoa, that's bright. And then you double press it again and it goes back. And what's nice, then you just tap it to turn it off. And what's nice is it'll remember how bright you had it before. So no more of that, it just goes automatically to one setting or another one. This will take you back to where you wanted it. The side light thing is cool. It has this LED RGB light that when you move the dial, it'll change colors on it. So, oh, look at all the colors. For me personally, the only one I'm really interested in is the red light one, because it's good for looking at things at nighttime without ruining your night vision. So it's really good for camping. And if you hold that, it goes to just a regular white light mode, which you can make brighter or dimmer. So yeah, that's nice. I think it's cool because you can just clip it onto your shirt or something like that and be able to have light. You don't need to use the clip to put onto a hat or something like that. But as it is, yeah, it has a great clip on it that you can put onto your hat to use as an impromptu headlamp and everything. And has a couple other functions here. There's a magnet on the bottom. It's a strong one. It can stand vertically pretty well. Give me 1 second. So there's just a metal ruler, and if I stick it on here, yeah, works well. It also has a button here, so if you press this button here, it goes into super turbo. Just, oh god, you could light up an entire world with that thing. But yeah, and then it also has a beacon mode when you use the side thing. If you long hold it, no, double tap it when it's in the RGB mode, it'll start flashing. And if you just have it turned off and you, let me see, double tap it, it'll start doing like emergency flashes. So yeah, it's very customizable without having to cycle through a ton of things. I think its strength is that you can really easily just set it to what you need to without fumbling around too much. Like, it's just very easy to figure out, oh, I want this level of light and everything like that. But to me, it's just, like I mentioned a little bit ago, it's a little bit bulky for me. This thing weighs 5 ounces almost. It's 3.77 inches long. It's about 1.5 inches wide, and then it's about 1 inch deep or tall, I guess you'd say, the height. I don't know, but yeah, it says turbo mode should go for 3 hours. Moonlight mode could go as long as 285 hours, so that's pretty good. But yeah, it's USB-C rechargeable, which is always super nice. I like when they use USB-C instead of like micro USB or whatever. Just some final things. It's waterproof IP68, which is nice, so you can get it wet and it won't blow up on you, hopefully. But yeah, made out of aluminum. Pretty cool little thing. For 50 bucks, we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, let's get this out of here. Next up is the Smingxi T5. And this comes in at $25. It's 1400 lumens on it. Whoa, pretty bright. Can throw, whoa, God. It's, just keeps getting brighter. Can throw the light for 168 meters. But it only has a 1000 milliamp hour battery. But what's cool about it is you can replace this battery with a standard AA battery, which I think really makes it good to have, because it's easy to get a spare for this compared to the other, because just every place has a AA battery. And this also has Type-C charging. So yeah, let's just kind of go over this. It does not have anywhere near the amount of functionality as the other one, but the features it does have if you hold it from nothing, it'll go into a very dim moonlight mode. And then from there you can cycle through the other ones. But typically if you just tap the button, it'll go into whichever one you had left it on last, and then you hold it to cycle through the different brightnesses. Yeah. And then it's you can like triple tap it, I think, and it will go into, you know, super flashy mode, which always takes me by surprise sometimes, because like I said, each of these different flashlights have a different way to go into the different modes, so I forget which one does which, and then it you know, almost gives me a seizure, but that's okay. What's really cool about this is, look here, this thing twists. So then you can use it as a front-facing light type thing. And I think what's really cool when you do this is that, kind of like how on the Wubin, that it has the front part, well, you don't really need that with this, because you can just have it face forward. Clip this directly onto your shirt lapel or whatever you might have, and you know, it shines forward. I just think that's really nice and makes it a lot more versatile than a lot of other just, you know, straight rod-shaped flashlights. But cool thing about this is that they also give you a little attachment, so then you can use it. Let me make sure I can get it on here correctly. Also, the little clip here can be moved around for whatever orientation you want. But yeah, so I can just, let's move it to the front. Stick this on here, and then bam, you have a headlamp. I just think that's so neat, and that gives it like so much more utility than it otherwise might have, because you know, you can use this during the day just as a typical flashlight, but then if you're out camping, you can just throw it on this thing and then you have a headlamp, and you don't have to worry about having one like, oh, my flashlight's useless at night, but my headlamp's useless during the day, because you kind of have it all in one here. And then it has a little red light diffuser thing, so if you do that, it uses red light, and then you don't have to hurt your eyesight. So pretty cool. And last couple of things here. So compared to the Smingxi, this weighs like just over 2 ounces. It's a little bit longer. It's 4.25 inches long, and it's 3/4 of an inch like in diameter. And this is IP66 waterproof. It's aluminum alloy, and then it says the moonlight mode can last 168 hours. The turbo, I'm guessing, would last about an hour. I tried to do some mental math given like the size of the batteries, but if the Woobin could do 3 hours on turbo, and this has, you know, 1/3 of the battery, then maybe an hour on turbo. But please don't make me testify that before a jury of my peers. So let's compare these. Again, I was sent both of them for free, and I think that's kind of cool because I'm not sure I would have looked at these and been like, yeah, I'm going to pay 50 bucks for that or 25 for these. But, you know, hear me out. I've never paid more than probably 18 or 20 bucks for a flashlight ever. So, you know, I'm really glad I got sent these so I could see, you know, what it's like on the other side, the people that do spend a little bit more on their flashlights. And so the Woobin is great, and I love, you know, how much functionality it has and all the different modes and everything like that. But for me, it's a little much for my needs. I just need like something that's super easy to cycle through and, you know, give me the light I need and give me a red light mode. I don't really need a beacon, I don't think. I let people know where I'm going. I'm not traversing long distances on my own. I guess it would be good to, you know, be able to have some sort of beacon in case I fell down a ravine or something like that, and then people overhead flying by could see me and save my life. But if I'm, you know, all my bones are broken and I'm in a ditch, just, you know, just let me pass. So yeah, that's that. And then with this guy, what might have drawn me away from it or being like, yeah, I'll drop 25 bucks on that, is that like it's just a little bit longer and bigger and than other ones I have. So for comparison, I have like the ones I typically carry is there's this short dude. It's this magnetic one that pops on, but you can't change how bright it is. There's this one that's real long, but it's not really my favorite. It has the weird, like, you know, you can't choose which light you want, but it does have the front light, so that's kind of cool. But oh my god, I can't stop it. Yeah, like you have to cycle through them all to turn it off, which is really annoying to me. And then this one had probably been my favorite one before. It's the Aurora A3. And that's just, you can hold this to make it really bright, or you double tap it. Oh, I've forgotten how to use these. This also has the same issue if you gotta cycle through them or hold it. I don't know. It's I'm just all twisted around with all these different functions for flashlights. But anyway, when I finally got this in my hand, I realized it's not honestly that much bigger than something like this. And you know, that's great. And this would work really well for me going out camping, because I can use this and I can, you know, have this during the daytime if I need to light things up. But it just kind of serves two purposes. I don't need a separate headlamp and a separate flashlight for doing that. So for me, like, I like both of them, but this one is just a little bit too bulky for me. And so, but I do have a perfect place for it. It's going to live on my nightstand upstairs, because it's really good for the moonlight mode. Like, because I get up earlier than my wife and it's always dark. So instead of fumbling around for the first 5 minutes of my every day of my life, I could turn on the nice moonlight mode and be able to illuminate my way. And this one will probably live in my little backpacking pouch that I can take out with me, because like I said, I just really like, you know, the compactness of ones like this for my everyday carry, whereas this is, it's a little bit bigger, and not as easy to just tuck away in something. So I think it will go with me out when I'm camping from now on. And that's kind of where I sit between these two. So would I pay this amount for these? Me personally, I don't have need of all the functions that are on this thing. So spending $50, the lumens aren't that much greater than what's seen on here, and I do like the red light function, but I don't need all the different color RGB, and like I don't know, it's just a little too much for me. And since I don't need it, I personally would not be really willing to drop the $50 on it, but I know people out there are willing to spend, hundreds of dollars on these things. So I'm hoping through kind of the demonstrations, you might be able to figure out like, hey, would that be worth it for you? But I can only speak for myself, so that's where I lie on that. With this, I would absolutely buy it for 25 bucks. I think with the extras they give you, which increases like the versatility of it, with the ability to use it as a front-facing light without needing like to wear a hat to clip this onto or anything like that, I think that's great. I think it really gives me a lot of possibilities for how I can use it. And I like things that have multiple different purposes, and that sets things apart for me. And I feel like this would give me, it's the best value for me. It gives me what I need and nothing more, and it gives me the ability to use it in several different situations instead of just, oh, I have it for when I have a free hand open, or oh, I can only use a headlamp, you can't really clip it to anything or whatever. This just has it all. So yeah, that's where I stand on these. If you liked either of these, I will have links in the description. I think this one's an affiliate one, but they never sent me like an affiliate link for this thing. I don't think you get any discounts for buying through my link, so like honestly, do whatever you want. But yeah, I hope that gives you a good idea of a couple potential, fairly budget flashlights that you could go with. And yeah, if you like this video, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Goodbye.